नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So, welcome devotees. Today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, text number 34, on the topic Marriage between Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Okay. निष्णातं योगमायासु मुनिं स्वायम्भुवं मनुं यद्दाप्रंसयितुं भोगा न शेक्षुर्भागवत्परं निष्णातं योगमायासु मुनिं स्वायम्भुवं मनुं यद्दाभ्रंसयितुं भोगा न शेक्षुर्भगवत्परम्. Synonyms: Nishnatam, absorbed. Yoga Maya, so in temporary enjoyment, Munim, who was equal to a saint, Swayambhuvam, Swayambhuva, Manum, Manu, Yat, from which Abhram Sayitum, to cause to deviate, Bhoga, material enjoyments, Na, not, Seku, were able, Bhagavat Param, who was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, Swayambhuva Manu was a saintly king. Although absorbed in material happiness, he was not dragged to the lowest grade of life, for he always enjoyed his material happiness in a Krishna conscious atmosphere. Purport: the kingly happiness of material enjoyment generally drags one to the lowest grade of life, namely degradation to animal life, because of unrestricted sense enjoyment. But Swayambhuva Manu was considered as good as a saintly sage because the atmosphere created in his kingdom and home was completely Krishna consciousness. The case is similar with the conditioned souls in general. They have come into this material life for sense gratification. But if they are able to create a Krishna conscious atmosphere as depicted here or as prescribed in revealed scripture by temple worship and household deity worship, then in spite of their material enjoyment, they can make advancement in pure Krishna consciousness without a doubt. At the present moment, modern civilization is too much attached to the material way of life or sense gratification. Therefore, Krishna consciousness movement can give the people in general the best opportunity to utilize their human life in midst of the material enjoyment. Krishna consciousness does not stop them in their propensity for material enjoyment, but simply regulates their habits in the life of sense enjoyment. In spite of their enjoying the material advantages, they can be liberated in this very life by practicing Krishna consciousness by the simple method of chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapatantikam Vande Guru Shri Guru Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gutapamalam Shri Gurum Shri Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarajadam Parinasagatam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lita Shri Vishakam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripa tammaham vande Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritam Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Pasmaye Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning. I seek the blessings of all assembled devotees, blessings of spiritual master, blessings of seeking the mercy of our deities Shishi Nitai Gaurachandra, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani, to speak something meaningful of this nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, text number 34. So, here they are talking about Swayambhu Manu, glorifying about Swayambhu Manu, who was a great saintly king. Although the king was absorbed in material happiness, was not dragged to the lowest grade of life. For he always enjoyed his happiness in Krishna consciousness atmosphere. Very, very practical and practically applicable words or ability for us to take inspiration and see how the great saintly king, the emperors, utilized their material resources and how they consciously adopted the strategy of utilizing in Krishna consciousness so that they are not degraded in the material life. So here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the kingly happiness. Definitely, the happiness of a king is, the resources of a king are vast, and there are a lot of opportunities for material enjoyment. And with the resources, one can easily be dragged to the lowest grade of life, namely to the degradation, which is called animal propensity, animal life, that leads to unrestricted enjoyment. Srila Prabhupada, most of the time, many times has quoted, a pauper is proud of his penny. A pauper is very proud of his penny, and he is thinking that, okay, now I got the penny. He makes immediate plans. The mind, the processing power of the mind is way beyond that, cannot be measured. It is difficult, and it started making the first thing, the pride comes into the picture, and it started making plans for material enjoyment, or that is for sense gratification. And what kind of sense gratification? It is unrestricted sense gratification. So, but the Swayambhuva Manu, who was the emperor, and he was equal, he was considered equal to good saintly sage because of his quality, and he was completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He was absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and he had the family values of Krishna consciousness not only in his home, but he also had in his kingdom, so that the subjects were also God consciousness. They were also participating in Krishna consciousness. So as a result, everything was flourishing and everyone was in towards one centeredness, which is God consciousness society and restricted sense enjoyment. So Srila Prabhupada is again emphasizing here, we are all, it's also applicable to conditional souls like us. We came to this material world with one purpose, to enjoy sense gratification. That was that's the aim. And that's why we are here in the material world. But the, this verse is saying that it's not to stop the sense enjoyment, the propensity of sense enjoyment, but it is to control the sense enjoyment. It is to restrict the sense enjoyment. So material enjoyment, um, uh, material enjoyment degrades, but if we restricts the sense enjoyment, it by how, what is the process to restrict the sense enjoyment? Okay, all of a sudden, if I just we are nearing the end of this year, right? And that comes the first of the 2025. Many of us will take a resolution, go and stand before the deities, and we give our plan. We make we bring a big laugh on Krishna by saying our plan, our resolution. Okay. And we entertain Krishna. All right, today is Jan 1st, and I'm giving my plan in front of you, and Krishna and Radharani will give a chunk, you know. And that's not possible. But the possibility where Srila Prabhupada is saying to restrict our sense enjoyment is to align with temple worship, household deity worship, and that will gradually help us to move from the propensity of absolute sense enjoyment to a balanced Krishna consciousness life. And at one point of time, Krishna conscious activities will take the interest that we are carrying, that towards the material propensity, because higher taste will destroy the lower taste. So when we aspire for higher taste by the practice of temple worship, by the practice of a deity worship, the magic occurs. So the magic here is when we offer our food, that becomes the boga, the boga that is offered towards our deities. It is converted from material to spiritual. So when the Lord can accept the bhoga that is offered, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, right? You don't need to offer anything big. You offer according to your capacity. According to your capacity. Even if you offer a leaf, water, a fruit, whatever you offer, with love. That's a core key. Because Krishna is, everything is coming from Krishna. There is no resources that can be said that it is that I manufactured, or that this is mine. There is nothing we can claim the proprietorship. Everything is coming from Krishna. Even the mind, the intelligence to create something is coming from Krishna. So there is no proprietorship. And we offer that to Krishna with love, and Krishna accepts that, and he in return gives it back to us as prasadam. So this is the transformation from material to spiritual on a day-to-day life. And the magic, once we consume the prasadam, it calms our senses, and it helps us to um, to control our senses, calm, and take a proper decision. Decision factor is the intelligence is the discriminatory factor, like whether it is good for me, whether it pleases my guru and Krishna. So it helps us to take a pause before we jump and do something into that. And that comes from practice, sadhana bhakti. And it's not just on a day, but that is the path. By regularly practicing Krishna consciousness, in our life, it helps us to lead to that path that's been followed by Swayambhuva Manu here. And our acharyas, Jiva Goswami has said that when we receive money, how the ratio, like 50% towards Krishna consciousness, 25% towards families and relatives, and 25% for personal emergencies, that is been given. We can try according to our capacity, or at least a centered way of having that the money, the resources that I am getting should be purified, and the purification is possible when we spend that money in Krishna consciousness. When we dovetail our life in Krishna consciousness, it gets purified. Just like how every day, dinam dinam, we take bath and we purify our body. So similarly, our resources that we gathered, we don't know how the resources are coming. We may do something, but we have to do some work according to our psychophysical nature, according to our capability, and we are getting the rewards, and that rewards needs to be purified. So the simpler way of purifying is like we can contribute as a charity towards Krishna consciousness, and that leads to purification. And that will also help that community, that will also help the temple and other people who are like-minded. So we can develop that like-minded society, we can have the association. So speaking about association, Srila Prabhupada has said, what is Hare Krishna chanting? When he was asked by in an interview, Srila Prabhupada says, it is association with Krishna. Here, Srila Prabhupada says association with Krishna is like the radio reaching the radio station. The instrument, the device radio is reaching the radio station through the frequency. And when it is connected with the frequency, it can play what is being offered in the channels. When you tune the radio, it connects to that particular frequency, and whatever program is broadcasted, it is playing here. We can able to hear from the radio, the programs that are offered in the radio station. Similarly, our chanting is association directly with Krishna. So when we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you debrief the Maha Mantra, it is about Hare, which is the energy of the Lord, the internal potency of the Lord, Krishna and Rama, the names of the Lord. So we are connecting the frequency through the channel of the internal potency. In fact, we are requesting, we are offering our prayers to the internal potency of the Lord. Oh Lord, oh the internal potency of the Lord, Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the devotional service. This is the tuning mechanism. So we are offering our surrendering, or we are connecting through the channel of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani, or the internal potency of a Lord, is very merciful, extremely merciful. And the way in which I heard from my mentor is Mother Sita. In the Kakasura Vrittangam, when Mother Sita and Sri Ramachandra were sitting, the crow, who is nothing but the son of Indra, he came in the form of a crow, and he started attacking Mother Sita. He started pecking on the mother's upper portion of the body. And at the time, Lord Ramachandra was lying on Sita's lap and taking a rest, and mother was trying to, do something, like she took a mud and throw it on the crow, It didn't go, and the crow started to attacking Mother Sita constantly. And Ramachandra is seeing that, and he started chuckling. So here Mother Sita is representing the Jiva Tattva. It's We can ask like, oh, Mother Sita is the internal potency. Mother Sita can handle this. But Mother Sita is representing Jiva Tattva like us, that we don't first offer, or we don't go to Krishna or Sri Ramachandra immediately. We try to do on our strength. So as a Jiva Tattva, she is trying to do on her strength. Similarly, Draupadi, when she was disrobed, she was trying to handle everything on her own. Everything failed. She went to Bhishma. She went to the other elders in the assembly. No one was unable to help. And finally, she raised her hand and said, "Hey, Govinda, help me. I can do anything. I need your help. I have no other resources other than you." When that thing, and then Ramachandra intervened and he took a blade of a grass and he threw it on the crow, and that becomes a Brahmastra. And the crow, in order to take a shelter, went all the logas, went to Indra Loga, went to Brahma Loga, Shiva Loga, everywhere, and everyone said, "No, I cannot help. This is you are dealing with Sri Ramachandra and Mother Sita. I cannot help you. Sorry," and the doors were shut. So after that, the crow returned back and fell on the ground. The way in which the crow fell on the ground was the leg of the leg of the crow was towards the leg of the Ramachandra, near the feet of Ramachandra, lotus feet of Ramachandra. Mother Sita intervened and she turned the crow's head towards the feet of Sri Ramachandra. So this is where the internal potency act on our daily life. When we try to do devotional activities, we may not be perfect. This is where the internal potency, or Srimati Radharani, she uplifts and take us to the God. That's the reason the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is, "Oh Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please engage me in Krishna's service." We are not qualified, and we are begging to Srimati Radharani, somehow or other, please put me in Krishna's service. I'm not qualified. I'm even more worse than the crow, and somehow or other, please engage me. In that consciousness, if we doubtile our life, if we doubtile our resources, what happens is we gradually get to the stage and we get matured and our life become perfected. In one lifetime, Srila Prabhupada says that in one lifetime, we have the opportunity to go back, liberated. And in a worst case scenario, we get the human form of life to continue the devotional service. And Krishna says, like, whatever my devotee says, Krishna preserves the words. So do not be afraid. So this is a wonderful opportunity that has been given to us. Somehow or other, the Shraddha, the faith that we have received, the preliminary faith that has received, is not through our endeavor. It is through the intervention of some devotee. Somehow or other, we saw the Ratha Yatra, someone that we came across in this lifetime, or someone that's given the prasadam or the books that we touched, or we taken the prasadam, that has given the manifestation, that has manifested, and it started the treatment, the spiritual treatment of engaging our life in Krishna consciousness. We are very much indebted to those devotees. We are indebted to the society. We are indebted to the temple and the congregation. And our prayers and aspirations should be always engaged in the association of a devotees and association with Krishna and Srimati Radharani through the chanting of the holy name. So I conclude with this, and this is again emphasizing the way how Swayambhuva Manu enjoyed his material happiness in Krishna consciousness atmosphere through the worship, through the process of a temple worship and household deity worship. So that leads one to the matured stage of a Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on these words. If there are anything that I have missed or misstated incorrectly, please feel free to uh, talk about this so that I can learn from you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice class. I was kind of appreciating the story that from Ramayana you mentioned how the internal potency helps us to direct towards the right way to the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, using the material things, making them spiritualize. I think yeah. And that is how. I mean, of course, the same things that we are going to. I mean, either eating or whatever it is, right? So
Yes, Prabhu. That's true. I mean,
bringing
everything has a purpose, right, Prabhu? In our day-to-day life, when we get into a new job, we we look for resources, job aids. We look for something, help systems. So in our Krishna conscious life, Srimati Radharani is the job aids and the help system. We definitely get. I try not to get into that sort of language, Prabhu, but it's
I
continuous.
know you didn't use it. I was thinking.
I was very conscious. Lakshmikanta Prabhu is here. I had to try not to use
No,
technical
no, no. I
language.
was thinking same thing.
Yeah. So I cannot say. So I mean, Srimati Radharani is our resources, so that's begging to Srimati Radharani and the devotees of Krishna are the resources for us to overcome the material pangs of this life.
Thank you, Prabhu.
All right, I give you back 1 minute. It's 7:59. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.